welcome to Camper Van Conversion in bite-sized chunks. If you happen to have come across this page through some random link, you might want to click on the link in the top right hand corner to take you back to the introduction to tell you a little bit more about these videos and how you can get the best out of them.
So I decided to put a solar panel on the roof because the price had come down tremendously. I got a kit from China, from eBay. The kit itself was great, very solidly built. The controller worked really well, but the instructions weren't brilliant. You know, you're trying to work out exactly what the display meant was, you know, I think that's where China is at the moment. They've got the quality up, their kit. Because they've got some great stuff in China, tools even, but still they let themselves down on instructions sometimes. But not to worry. So yeah, so what we're going to do is just take a quick look at what I did. I got a 100 watt panel and a controller, and what the controller does is it does a number of things. First of all, it stops the battery from being overcharged. Also, once it gets to that charge point, it will just pulse, it will float charge it. And then also at night, it will stop the battery discharging back by going back up through the panels. In the old days they had sort of diodes, but now they've got these controllers, much better. Yeah, it's worth a go. And what I've done actually is I've done the wiring as such that the feed goes into my switch box, which I think you'll see on the electrics section, and I can switch to charge my domestic battery or my drive battery. So when the thing's parked up for a long time not being used, I'll be able to switch it over and just keep the drive battery topped up. Okay, so let's have a look.
So there's the kit in my back garden, 100 watt panel, which is about 8 amps peak. You're not always going to get that, of course, in the UK climate. But it does punch out quite a bit of juice. There's the controller sat on top of the battery, and you get all the cabling as well. The cabling's actually 30 amp cabling, big chunky stuff, but it's got all the connectors on the back. And yeah, for 150 quid, did I say that? 150 quid, panels, cables, and a controller. This controller there, it tells you when it's charging, when it's floating. Floating means when it's just like pulsing if it's fully charged. It's a mechanism of charging so it doesn't sort of damage the battery. And there's the panel on the roof. I put it on with some big strong brackets which I then overcoated with zinc paint, and actually the panel itself is sat on about 3 or 4 mil bead of silicon, which I use for absolutely everything, but it means I haven't got metal on metal, so there's not going to be any vibration there, and it will deal with any flexing and everything. This panel on the roof, I had that bit of stainless steel which I just cut to make a spoiler. Actually, I don't know why, because you're not going to go 100 miles an hour, so it's not exactly going to get wind whipping over there. And there's the cable then going to the side of the van, where I've got bungs in my van which got holes in the van which take the cable through. So I just drilled some holes in those bungs, there you go, and I've secured on to the roof with self-adhesive cable securing pads. Not quite sure how they're fair, but we'll see. And there's the panel on the roof. You might think why I put it that way round, which meant I had a longer stretch of exposed cables. Well, basically, one of the concepts of this van is it's got to get everywhere, including little country lanes, and I was worried about overhanging branches sort of scraping on the top of that glass. So I decided to mount it that way round, and hopefully I've managed to secure those cables down sufficiently that they won't cause any issues as the van drives along. But we'll see. 150 quid, not bad really, is it really, these days? And it keeps my batteries, my dry battery charged up as well when I'm parked up. Anyway, that's my kit.
Solar panels. Well, things move on, and very happy with the kit I've got. I think it's a single 100 watt panel up there. We never run out of electric, probably because we're not off grid enough without electric hookup, and when we've got electric hookup there's a little battery charger that tops up the leisure battery. Having said that, the prices have come down, so you could probably afford to get a bigger bit of kit, 200-300 maybe. I know someone has put the whole of their van to solar collectors with a little angle thing on it. They get loads of juice out of that. Of course, you need the batteries to go with it. What I would say is I've got what's called a PWR controller. but that sort of technology has moved on now, and what you need to be looking for if you want to get the best out of your panels is an MPPT controller. Okay, because technology's moved on, and the latter controller, the MPPT, can squeeze more out of the solar panel to get into your battery. However, just a word of caution, from what I'm gathering, there's a few controllers out there that have been advertised as MPPT, but actually all they are is PWR controllers with a bit more intelligent logic. So just being absolutely sure. Now, how do you know? It's hard unless you know your onions on this sort of thing. But a clue is they're a little bit thicker because they've got inside what's called an inductor, but you're not going to know that. So you just need to be careful when you buy and ask the question, is this a genuine MPPT controller? A bit more pricey than PWRs because, of course, that's old hat now, so the PWRs are cheaper. You know, I'm not going to bother changing mine, I just don't need to, but I just thought to give you the heads up on that. But yeah, I mean, solar panels are the way to go.